This is Adam, and he suffers from gout. Try Urol. It helps to prevent crystallization of uric acid crystals in gout therapy. Urol, effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Hello, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. Daim Zainuddin claimed trial at the Kuala Lumpur High Court for failing to abide by an MACC's notice to disclose his assets. The judge has set March 22nd for mention of the case.
Former Finance Minister Daim Zainuddin has claimed trial for failing to abide by an MACC's notice to disclose his assets at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court this morning. The assets in question encompass 38 firms, 25 pieces of land and property, 7 luxury vehicles and 2 investment fund accounts. Daim, who was in a wheelchair, was charged under Section 36(2) of the MACC Act 2009. The tycoon was alleged to have committed the offence by giving a sworn written statement that did not comply with the MACC notice under Section 36(1) subsection A of the same law. The 85-year-old was accused of committing the offence between December 13th and 14th last year and could be jailed up to 5 years and fined up to 100,000 ringgit. Deputy Public Prosecutor Wan Shahruddin Wan Ladin urged for bail to be set between 250 and 500,000 ringgit in one Malaysian surety, as well as for Daim to surrender his passport to the court and report to the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya once a month. However, Defence Counsel M. Puravalan pleaded for Daim to be released on his cognizance or for bail to be set at 250,000 ringgit. The lawyer pointed out that Daim is not a flight risk as he is using a wheelchair and is beset by multiple medical conditions. Puravalan said Daim had one of his eyes removed due to fungal infection, has medical-related hearing issues and suffered minor strokes the last few years. Judge Azura Alwi then set March 22nd for mention and set bail at 280,000 ringgit in one Malaysian surety and imposed no additional terms such as surrendering his passport and reporting to MACC headquarters.
After the charges, Daim took a swipe at Anwar, accusing the Prime Minister and his administration of abusing their powers.
Former Finance Minister Daim Zainuddin has accused Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's administration of abusing its powers and abandoning reform. He said this in a statement following a court appearance where he was charged with failure to comply with asset declaration requirements. In his statement, Daim said he did not wish to say much about the political charge against him. He reiterated that he was not guilty and looked forward to his day in court. Daim added that like many others who wanted a new Malaysia, he had come out to support Pakatan Harapan and Anwar in 2018 when the nation was under the shadow of the 1MDB scandal. However, he claimed that now we are under the shadow of an administration that is abusing its powers while betraying all the promises of reform. He claimed it was like a wolf in sheep's clothing who cries reforms but does the polar opposite. Daim also pointed to Anwar's deputy, Ahmad Zaid Hamidi, and said that for the sake of becoming the Prime Minister, Anwar gave the job to a person facing corruption charges. He claimed that honesty, integrity and good governance have gone out the window, and independent institutions like the MACC, Attorney General's Chambers and the Inland Revenue Board have been made pliable tools to pursue political opponents. Earlier, Daim had attempted to read the statement aloud after he was wheeled to the area outside of the court complex lobby, where his wife Naima Abdul Khalid stood by him. However, he was unable to muster enough strength to be heard and Naima handed over the statement printout to their lawyer.
Nanti kita suruh lawyer baca.
Saya minta maaf, I think you all tak boleh dengar kan?
Betul, boleh wakilkan.
Ya, so nanti saya bagi kat lawyer lah because dah daripada pagi sangat dia pergi balik kat rest.
Tuan boleh bacakan.
Boleh bantu. Saya nak bawa dia balik rumah.
So kita akan
dah
edarkan.
Lama daripada pagi tadi kan? So dia kena balik rest. So I bagi kat lawyer boleh?
Boleh. How many pattern this?
Oh dia bagi, dia distribute saja lah kot. Ya?
Bersatu will be amending the party's constitution. This came after another member announced support for Anwar's government. In addition, it will pursue legal action against those that have voiced their support for Anwar.
Bersatu will pursue legal action to vacate the seats of its elected representatives who have pledged support for Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. The party's Secretary-General Hamza Zainuddin said this was decided at a Supreme Council meeting last night. The decision came after 6 of its MPs declared support for Anwar without quitting the party. Due to a loophole in the anti-hopping law, MPs are not required to vacate their seats if they go against the party whip and principles. Tanjung Karang MP Zulkaf Peri Hanapi was the latest Bersatu lawmaker to announce his support for the Prime Minister on January 24th, citing the well-being of his constituents. Last year, 5 Bersatu MPs declared support for Anwar to remain as Prime Minister, including Bukit Gantang MP Syed Abu Hussein, Jeli MP Zahari Kecik, Gua Musang MP Muhammad Azizi Muhammad Naim, Labuan MP Suhaili Abdul Rahman and Kuala Kangsar MP Iskandar Zulkarnain Abdul Khalid. Yesterday, Anwar appointed Syed Abu Hussein to lead a committee to tackle the issues of rising food prices and cost of living. Meanwhile, Hamza said Bersatu's Supreme Council has agreed to amend Article 10 of the party's constitution to keep its elected representatives in line.
Meanwhile, Hamza Zainuddin has stressed that Bersatu fully supports Muhyiddin as president. This came amid rumours of factions within the party.
Bersatu's Supreme Council has unanimously decided to back the party's struggle under Muhyiddin Yassin's presidency. This was announced by Bersatu Secretary-General Hamza Zainuddin. In a statement today, he said in strategizing concrete steps forward, the Supreme Council has unanimously decided to continue the struggle under the leadership of Muhyiddin as president. He said this is not only in the context of empowering the party as a whole, but to be seen as more credible, firm and brave in fighting the malicious slander and tyranny of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's government. He added that the party has appointed 3 new Supreme Council members, namely Padang Serai MP Asman Nasruddin, Taman Medan Assemblyperson Afif Bahardin and Bersatu Youth Assistant Secretary Noli Ashilin Muhammad Razzi. Hamza also announced today that Asmin Ali would be appointed as the new Selangor Bersatu chief. Meanwhile, Bersatu Deputy President Ahmad Faizal Azumu was removed as the party's Negeri Sembilan chief and was replaced by Labu Assemblyperson Muhammad Hanifa Abu Bakar. The changes come amidst rumours of an internal faction war between Hamza's faction against Muhyiddin's. A recent report by Harapan Daily claimed that there was an internal faction war within Bersatu, with rumours that Hamza's post as Secretary-General would be taken over by Asmin Ali.
The police have responded to a video that went viral allegedly showing a traffic cop soliciting a bribe from a couple of tourists. They said investigation will be carried out and any wrongdoing will not be tolerated.
Bukit Aman is investigating a viral video clip that shows a traffic police officer allegedly taking 100 ringgit from 2 foreign tourists to settle a summons on the spot for a British couple who had been touring Malaysia. Federal Police Traffic Enforcement and Investigation Department Director Muhammad Asman Ahmad Sapri said they are aware of the video that has been making rounds on social media and vowed to leave no stone unturned. In a statement, he said a thorough investigation is being carried out to ascertain the allegation. He added that they will not tolerate any wrongdoing by any officer or personnel involved. Asman also urged anyone with information on the incident to come forward and assist in the investigation. The video clip, which started making its rounds on X earlier today, showed the tourists from the UK being stopped by traffic police for allegedly speeding on a highway. One of the tourists was driving a van, then asked the officer what they had to do next, to which the officer said they had 2 options. The officer said they could pay at the police station for 300 ringgit or pay on the spot for 100 ringgit. The officer was then seen taking cash from the other tourists, and when asked by the driver if he needed to check their documents, was told that it was settled. It was learned that the tourists are travelling around the world in their van and have a wide following on YouTube for documenting their globe-trotting adventures.
In other news, the KL High Court has set aside a gag order issued against Tan Meng Keng, the producer of the Mentega Terbang film.
The Kuala Lumpur High Court has set aside a gag order issued against Tan Meng Keng, the producer of the Mentega Terbang film. Today, the court heard the revision application filed by Tan against the gag order issued by the magistrate on January 17th. Lawyers for Liberty, who represented Tan, said after hearing both parties, the High Court decided to set aside the gag order. LFL said the decision was made on the grounds that the respondents failed to satisfy that there is a real and substantial risk to the fairness of the trial. The court also said the proceedings before the magistrate did not disclose any obvious or imminent threat to the fairness of the trial. The hearing was conducted before Judge Muhammad Jamil Hussain. Tan and Mentega Terbang Director Muhammad Khairi Anwar Jailani have claimed trial to a charge of hurting the religious feelings of other people via their involvement in the making of the controversial movie. The movie tells the story of 15-year-old Aisha, who in the face of her mother's death gets drawn into exploring the concept of rebirth as contained in other religions.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.